The manhunt has now been expanded to 7 nearby states: Texas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, and Tennessee. But the state police commander says he believes they might still be in Louisiana. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I hope he has some basis to say that. I would like to know what kind of information or intelligence he has to make that statement, because my assessment would be they are out of state. Some of them, at least the guys that are facing the most time, would probably flee the furthest and the quickest. And so if he has some basis to say that, maybe, but if he doesn't, he shouldn't make that proclamation, because the guys are probably out of state, if not out of the country, because they'll flee very fast. They had help from the outside, obviously, and it's not a manhunt.
Yeah,
it's manhunts. There are now 7 manhunts going on. There are 7 manhunts going on simultaneously. It's exponentially more difficult now with the manpower resources that you need to throw at this thing.
Yeah, Commander, the reward is now up to $20,000 for information leading to the arrest of each inmate. That's a lot of money, and money talks. Do you think that might open up some leads?
Oh, 100%. And good evening, Elizabeth. I mean, yeah, the streets do talk when you got that kind of reward money out there. But, you know, as Bobby said, it's an intense manhunt, but there's also a fugitive investigation going on behind the scenes. I mean, they're flipping their worlds upside down, and they're not just focusing on the fugitives. They're looking at who we call who's who in the zoo. They're looking at that trusted circle of friends and, you know, trying to connect the dots and put that puzzle together. So, you know, it's tough right now. They're on the run. They got, what, a 7-hour head start. The good news is the 3 that were captured, it didn't look like they got too far. So no. I don't know if they had a plan B.
Yeah, Bobby, the FBI special agent in charge, obviously, as well as the governor of Louisiana, believes that members of the public must be hiding them, because there's just no way 7 men can get all the resources, a change of clothes, money, a place to hide, food, without help.
Yeah, well, my thought is at least there were probably 2 or 3 of these guys were the main actors, and the rest of them were beneficiaries of being in that pod when these 2 or 3 or 4 main actors actually pulled off this caper. Those 2 or 3 or 4 main guys probably had outside help, probably had planned, you know, to change of clothes. And these 2 or 3 that were caught already probably were just not ready for it. They probably were just beneficiary of being in the pod when this all happened, and you saw them scurry out like that.
Yeah.
So I think the 2 or 3 main actors, whoever the main actors are probably the guys that are going to be the hardest to catch, because they probably plan to have cash on hand and a vehicle and some friends to pick them up. And a place to go, exactly.
Commander, the sheriff said that the toilet and the bolts were removed from the wall using, quote, toiletry items. How is that even possible? A steel pipe was cut. You can't use a toothbrush or a razor, if they're even allowed to have a razor. I know I mean, how is that possible?
Now, great question. It'll be interesting to see when the dust settles and the smoke clears with that investigation that's going on, you know, at the jail. But yeah, how is that possible? I have no idea. I don't think they were at dinner that night and figured out, you know, let's pull the commode off the wall and sneak through a hole and run out the back door. I think this has been planned for quite some time, and you know, it's anyone's it's $1 million question is who helped them.
Yeah, I'd like you both to weigh in quickly on this last question. Commander, you first. This has all become very politicized in Louisiana. Everyone's blaming everyone else. The sheriff is going so far as to say this, and she seems to be getting a lot of the heat right now. She's now saying this breakout happened during a campaign season for sheriff, and she finds that suspicious. She seems to be implying that somebody planned the breakout so that she wouldn't win the election, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you got me scratching my head on that one. I don't know if that's possible or not. But you know what? You know, as my former agency, the U.S. Marshals and their partners, state and local partners, they hit the ground running with this thing. And I'm just hoping it goes down without incident. You got some pretty bad people out there, murderers, weapons violations and whatnot. And that news starts tightening. What's their mindset? Is it suicide by cop? You know, so that's more important than what the sheriff has on her mind right now.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.